Good morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday morning so far and a great weekend so far. I'm going to give you a quick update on what's going on with your Superbowl Sunday as far as the weather across the entire country. I'm not going to keep you super long. I want to remind you guys, stay tuned for tonight. There is going to be a big-time system that's going to impact a lot of people for this week, because we are into this coming week now for really Wednesday, Thursday, into potentially Fridays. Could have severe weather, could have a winter storm for folks, and maybe just heavy rain for some. So we're going to really start to break that down. I've held off talking about it so much, but I think we can start to really break it down. There's still a lot of questions on really the level of severity that this severe weather potential could be. But we're going to break it down tonight, so stay tuned tonight because there's a chance this might affect your area. If you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate the support as usual. And if you guys got anything I can pray about, obviously, please put it in the comments below so we can all pray for one another here. So let's get going here. I want to show you really quick the radar. This is out of Roanoke, Virginia, showing a band of snow. This is actually moving through northern areas of North Carolina. It's going to start snowing in Mount Airy here soon, and this is going to hit areas of the northern counties of North Carolina. Maybe a little bit of a rain-snow mix in Greensboro, Winston-Salem. We'll watch that. Areas into Charlotte, I think you are a little bit too far south. I think you are going to see just mainly rain, but there's a nice band of snow about starting to enter Roanoke. It's snowing in Charlottesville. We'll go a little bit further up to your northeast and get into the Washington, D.C. area and see what's going on here. And y'all definitely put in the comments how much snow y'all have seen in these areas. I don't know if this is performing too well, but it is snowing in Washington, D.C., a little bit of snow in Baltimore, and a little bit of snow in northern Delaware. We roll on up to New York City. And I'm typing this in as we go, so sorry for the delay here. And there is snow falling for Long Island. It's not very heavy in this area, but I do expect, as we get into New England, I do expect for this area of moisture to get more enhanced. It's already snowing pretty decent, but it's beginning to kind of winter away a little bit out here. But this will get enhanced a little bit in the next few hours for southern New England, and the snow will pick up, especially for Cape Cod, where I think the majority of your snow will fall a little bit later this afternoon. So what we got as a whole for a country, what's going on? Very, very quiet out west. It's very warm. It's going to be very, very warm along the west coast compared to average. I think LA is probably going to get into the 80s again today. And then we're obviously, the weather maker today is going to be maybe a little bit of snow, lake effect snow popping off Lake Michigan for Michigan. And then a clipper enters Minnesota and gives y'all a little bit of snow. But, that's nothing that y'all aren't used to up there. And then, the snow will continue for areas of the Northeast and areas of New England. And we'll get a little bit closer look at that here in a second. Maybe some flurries wrap around later tonight for areas of Virginia, West Virginia. And not a big deal at all, just some flurries flying around. But check out west. High temperatures, nice day in Texas, getting into the 60s for most of the state. There's a big-time Arctic boundary right here where, for example, if you're in Dakotas, if you're in the western side of Dakotas, it's actually going to be nice and warm compared to this time of the year as far as average temperatures. But the eastern parts of the state is going to be below freezing. There's just an Arctic boundary setting up. It's not super uncommon. It happens where you have a trough digging down. And then you have warmer than average temperatures in the west. It's going to be very nice along the west coast this afternoon and very warm compared to average, that's for sure. As far as temperatures in the east, a chilly morning this morning, especially where the cold front has moved through. Temperatures will rebound for certain areas. I think it'll still be a nice day in Florida. Definitely nothing compared to yesterday, and nothing compared to yesterday for anybody in the country, unless you're in Texas, where the front is kind of the high pressure has shifted a little bit further east. But it'll be cold in the Ohio Valley, well below freezing, and it'll be a cold day in the Northeast where snow is going to be falling in certain areas. And then the Southeast, just a typical winter type day for mid-February standards, a little bit colder in the mid-south with temperatures in the 30s, but not too bad the day. It's going to be nice out there for most of the eastern U.S. It's just that it's going to be chilly as high pressures moved in and cold fronts move through. So let's take a look at this snowfall potential. This is valid for 10 a.m., so in about an hour from now or so. Snow will continue. You will notice we'll start to tamper off a little bit, but then it'll get enhanced again as a low pressure gets closer. And then another band of snow could form as you're getting a little bit southeast of Washington, D.C. We'll watch for a more enhancement of moisture to develop for the Delmarva area, maybe north central, maybe northeastern areas of Virginia. I think the snow could increase for Delaware, maybe New York City. This will happen in probably the next few hours, and then it will enhance even more just off the coast for areas of New England as we're getting into later this evening when you guys are maybe watching the Super Bowl up there. Unfortunately, it's not going to be your New England Patriots watching the Super Bowl, watching your team. I know y'all guys are used to seeing your team at least in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, but snow will be falling or flying around as the Super Bowl is going on here. And then snow will take a while to eventually get off the coastline as low pressure is keeping moisture enhanced in this area. But I think that these areas could be in for a surprise. In fact, they've already bumped the snowfall totals up. But I'm very surprised. I don't even think there's a winter weather advisory for anywhere for areas north of Boston. So they haven't put any winter storm warnings up. They haven't really increased the winter weather advisories that much. But I think snow will be falling for most of your Sunday for New England. As far as how much snow could fall between now, well, just remember there's already been snow that's fell. But between now and the end of the storm, I think that Boston, especially south of Boston, can pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. And especially Cape Cod, I think y'all could get close to a half a foot out there. And then areas of eastern Long Island could pick up a couple inches of snow. But, nothing unheard of for this time of the year. It really isn't. We're still in winter, guys. Even though it feels like, for me in the southeast, now that I know that a lot of folks, it feels like when we get that first taste of spring here in the south, a lot of times our mind starts to go ahead and just, take the defeat that winter is over and we're starting to move to spring now. But we still got winter. And, I know a lot of people can speak for this. We can get some crazy storms at the end of February and then in early March. We really can. You never know what can happen here. But here we go. I want to briefly mention the storm system for this coming week. This is valid for Wednesday afternoon. What happens is a low pressure, a shortwave low pops off here, and an upper level low gets kind of lost in the pattern, if you will, pivots through here in the southwest. It starts to jolt itself, eject itself a little bit northeast. Well, it does move northeast. Therefore, it pulls warm, moist air into the deep south. That's just one factor to promote a severe weather system. At the same time, you have cold air on top of this. So someone is going to get a winter storm, whether that's for Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, maybe Chicago, areas of Wisconsin, Michigan, maybe certain areas of the northern Ohio Valley. The Great Lakes region, I think, stands a good bet to see some kind of winter weather. But someone in the south is going to get severe weather. I'm starting to lean towards what we call a low cape, high shear event, which means you're not going to get those explosive supercells that really have a history of big-time tornadoes or just tornadoes in general. You're going to get more of a straight line event of storms, a linear type setup, which means a line of storms, maybe a squall line, if you will. I don't even know if I see anything like that, but I really am right now, I'm leaning towards something like that, where you just get more so a line of storms that might promote a big-time damaging wind threat. But there's absolutely, regardless of how this unfolds, I think there is going to be a tornado threat, and this could trend higher in the next couple days. We're going to get much detailed on this tonight. But this is going to be a big weather event regardless. There's going to be a winter storm on the cold side, and there's going to be potential for flooding rains and also severe weather on the south side, where there's going to be a little convective energy, not a lot. There's going to be also like the moist dew points, them high dew points in the 60s and 70s. And there's going to be a low-level jet, which means winds at about 4,000 to 5,000 feet up in the air are going to be screaming. Who knows how strong of a low-level jet it is? It's going to be 40 to 50 knots, 50 to 60 knots. We're just not quite sure yet. So you have the wind energy there to make this happen for a severe weather event. But one thing that you look at that a lot of people kind of skip is what we call lapse rates. And that is basically how quickly the temperatures drop when you get higher in the atmosphere. And that is a factor for severe weather also. Also, things like cloud cover in the morning can help to stabilize the atmosphere, and sometimes the atmosphere never recovers. I know most people know the old saying where the sun, when the sun comes out, it helps to destabilize the atmosphere. It helps to provide juice to the atmosphere for severe weather. That is always going to reign true, and it's going to reign true in this situation. But we're Sunday morning. This event really starts for areas of Texas potentially. Wednesday, and then it gets into Thursday. And then there's going to be a severe weather event, I think, for areas of the Carolinas and the Southeast as we're getting into maybe overnight Thursday into your Friday morning. We'll watch that. We'll watch the timing of it. Dew points, as you can tell, here's that moist sector right here. Dew points right into the deep south. So that sets the stage for some high-level moisture profiles for this area. But you're looking here, still a 15% chance. We're at day 4 now, and this is including Dallas, Little Rock, Shreveport, and all surrounding areas. We're getting into day 5, which is for this coming Thursday. This includes a good chunk of Louisiana, a good portion of Arkansas, including Little Rock, Memphis, Jackson, Nashville, Tennessee, including Jackson, Mississippi, and it includes Birmingham, Alabama. So you watch this, you see how it tweaks, and we're going to see what happens with this. But that's all I got, guys. Stay tuned tonight. We're going to get a little bit more detail on this, about as detailed as I can get, because this will become the dominant topic of the weather world as we're getting into this coming week. So enjoy the Super Bowl. I will try to drop the video before the Super Bowl happens so I don't interrupt with anything like that. But you guys have a great day, and God bless everybody.